everyone. I haven't even combed my hair yet today. I did get out today. I was able to get out of my driveway and back in. It got much warmer here where I'm at. The snow isn't all melted, but the driveway melted enough uh, to where it's trying to get muddy. But hopefully it won't get any more muddy. And oh God, I talked to the propane people again today at something that I could not understand. Here, the driver, with the girl that said this to me, and I have to tell you this. I'm sorry, some women are dumb, stupider than a box of rocks. And she's telling me the reason why that I didn't get my propane was because the driver ran out of gas. Now, maybe I'm dumber than a box of rocks too, but to me, gas means gas for the truck. She did not say that they ran out of propane to give the customers. That's a little bit, I don't understand. If you put enough in there for all of your people that is on your route, then why would you run out of propane? Well, my brother was telling me that some of those trucks don't run on gasoline, they run on propane. I don't know nothing about stuff like that, but I am going to learn. So I'm well informed. So when I get on the phone to these people that are trying to snooker us women, then I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. So, but anyway, I said, well, it only stands to reason in my way of thinking that the last person that was on that route when they ran out of gas would have been the next person they took up the next business day. And she said, no, they don't schedule it that way. And I said, of course, we were going back and forth a little bit, and I was getting a little agitated with her. And I said, I guess you don't understand. I said, now that's probably going to put me into where I have to pay more money to get some of my smaller tanks filled so I can have heat. Well, we're all having a hard time, I said, you're probably not understanding. I don't make the kind of money that you think that I would make. I'm not wealthy here. And she said, well, we're all not. I said, well, I'll guarantee you that you're making more money than I'm making. And I said, I'm making $1,170 a month. So you've got a job. You have to, I know you're making more than that. And she shut it down. Well, we're not here to talk about what our incomes are. I said, well, did you ever question the people that make up the schedule? And she said, we have. And they said, to do it the way you're suggesting don't make no sense. I said, what do you mean it doesn't make any sense? You got the people on the list that you told that you were coming to give the fuel to, and you run out. So it's only natural, logical that you'd start where you left off and get them people filled back up instead of having to wait, because they shouldn't have to wait. And she said, well, they said it didn't make no sense. Oh, my God. Well, apparently, when they make out the route, which that is partially understandable, But these people have already paid. They're waiting on their propane, and you're saying they've got to wait another time while you set up another set of people for that particular route. When it's not their fault, it's your fault that you ran out. So go get another truck somewhere, somehow, and get their propane to them. I started getting a little huffy with her, and I didn't want to put myself in that state of mind, so I just shut her down right there. I said, well, you have a nice day. So here we are. We're at the mercy, and everybody is at the mercy of people that supply everything to us, our food, our uh, housing, our heat, our electricity, everything. Even if you don't have a washer and dryer at your house and you need to go to the laundromat, you're at their mercy for however much they want to charge for you to wash their clothes in their machines. And or if you stand at your sink and wash all the clothes out by hand, which I have done in the past in my younger years. And and like with here, I've got that portable wash machine that don't wash like a real wash machine does, and but it'll spin out real good. But I have to deal with uh, rusty water that can ruin my clothes if I'm not careful. Now I can get iron out, which is going to put chemicals in my water, which is going to put chemicals in my clothes. And I'm allergic to a bunch of different stuff, so I don't believe that that'll work for me. Again, at the mercy of other people. Well, here it is, and I've concluded that for me to live good and comfortable, I have to find different strategies to make that happen for me. Because I live a poor lifestyle according to the statistics, because I I barely make the poverty guideline. Just like the poverty guideline for one person is $15,650 a year. Well, the last couple of colas have put me up to $16,704 a year. So I just made it by $1,054 to be on the poverty guideline. Now, so that puts me at a poverty level. I have to live a, a poor lifestyle. But again, I have found ways which I need to work on this a little bit. I use credit cards to get a lot of things that I get to have an enjoyable life. And I live in a camper, which has been very, very cold this winter, which has used a lot of propane. I wouldn't have been able, I made it as easy as I have if I have a friend that has bought propane for me twice now this year. And this last time, which I'm still waiting on them to bring it. But uh, you don't, a lot of you don't understand how much they can do for somebody in this world if they can step up like he did. no questions asked. No, that here, I want you to do this. This is a blessing. Well, this last time it was a Christmas present, and it was $445 that he paid for my propane, and that left me money for food and to pay my electric and stuff like that. So right now I'm down to 15%, and I told that to that lady this morning. So basically, bottom line, I am living at a poverty level. And somehow in all of that, I have got to know that I know that I know that life is going to get better for me somehow, some way. Although I'm living in a camper, it's very cold. The floors are very cold, even though we got skirting around it. And the walls in a camper are only about that thick. Uh, even a modular home walls aren't as thick as the real houses. So when you think about people that make, okay, my daughter and her husband together probably make uh, $70,000-$80,000 a year, and they have oodles of bills that they end up having to pay, like through this winter, and we run out of the well messed up, and they had to spend $3,000 to get the well running because there's 3 families here on that well. So it really doesn't matter how much money you make. For the most part, we're still at the mercy of these different companies that provide things for us to live a more comfortable lifestyle. And but I live at a poverty level just like a lot of other people do. And I'm still learning how to take the money that I've got and don't begrudge people that want to help me out. My daughter and her husband helped me out here by letting me live on their property. And all I have to do for that towards them is pay for the electric I use and or pay for the parts and stuff that I need for them to help me fix my camper with when I need it fixed. So, it's very hard to save any money at a poverty mindset. Not a mindset. I don't have a poverty mindset. A poverty um, income. So I have the credit cards that I use, and I pay uh, the a little over the minimum payment to get it done. But there's where I have to uh, rein myself in and make sure that my grocery spending is not too extravagant. Anything else is not too extravagant. Now, right now, I can't get out and go wash my clothes. I can't wash my clothes at my daughter's house because they use different kinds of detergent that I'm allergic to, and that residue in that washer and or dryer gets on my clothes, and then it makes me itch and break out and things like that. So I can't do that. So I have to deal with. That's why I got a lot of clothes, is so that I always have something clean I can put on. And I wear my clothes over and over and over again because I'm not out to impress anybody. It's just me. And but yeah, poverty income is what I live on. So I have to, like a lot of other people, I have to downsize to the point where and eliminate different things that I can have overall that's going to make me more comfortable than if I didn't have it. Like staying warm during the wintertime, like having uh, decent kind of food, which I've done away with a lot of the processed food and all that kind of stuff. So that I'm eating, and hold on a minute. I'm back. I had forgot to turn on the hot plate because I'm making me some uh, tomato noodles. And I put the water on, but I forgot to turn it on. So I'm making tomato noodles, and I'll put some butter in it, and that's what I'm going to have for dinner. But like I said, I have to uh, take this money that I get, and I have to be able to live my life on that and try to be happy with that. I'm 81. I get Social Security, and I do a YouTube channel that don't pay me much at all because people won't. They won't like. They won't comment. They won't. Well, I got a lot of subscribers, but they all those subscribers don't come in and watch. They don't. They don't like. They don't share. They don't comment, and they skip through the commercials. Even though I try and try and try to tell everybody, look, if you're here and you like me and you care, you don't have to send me any money because I just assumed that you didn't send me any money because YouTube takes uh, um, if you send me $10, they take $3. So, but how I get paid is by y'all watching the ads, the commercials, and liking and commenting and sharing. So there's nobody really out there. I don't know. A lot of you say you like my videos and you like being here, but nobody's doing anything to help anybody out anymore. Not just here. And there's very few people in this world nowadays that are reaching out and helping other people. And one of the reasons why I started this channel was so I could help people knowing what it was like to live tiny and how to take the money that you get and the things that you have to make a better, prosperous life with what you have. Hoping that that is helping other people. But for the most part, there's some of you that are listening and taking note, but a lot of you aren't. So, but nobody wants to help anybody anymore. And and I do understand that you're supposed to love your neighbor as you love yourself. But once you got it down pat and you got yourself taken care of, then you're supposed to reach out to other people and help other people and love them too, as you love yourself. But apparently, people ain't getting the drift of that. But I do. I live a poverty lifestyle. And in all of that, I've got to not get disgusted. I've got to not be upset to the point where I'm losing my mind over it. But growing up poor helped me be able to get through this. Now, I can be down for a week maybe, and to where I just don't feel like doing anything. But then something, a little bit of good will come along, and then I can build myself back up again until something else happens. So, but I just wanted y'all to know that there's some of us out here that are living on a poverty level, but we're using what we have to make life a little bit better, not only for us, but for other people too. So I'm going to let y'all go. Remember, a merry heart doeth good like medicine. So try to laugh. Laugh, 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 laugh. Watch funny movies. And as a man believes in his heart, or woman believes in his heart, that's the direction he will allow himself to go. He will take himself that way. So if you believe that you can't, your life can't get any better, it won't get any better. You'll take yourself off into staying not any better. And if you believe you can, if you believe you can't, you're right. Henry Ford made that quote, and he became a very wealthy man. So, hugs and kisses, everybody. Love y'all. Hope you have a great evening. See you another time.